He tried sending a signal into space, and the alien girl came to his house. A whisper of static cut through the salty breeze of Port Halcyon. It hummed with secrets, echoes of signals cast into the void, now answered by something gleaming from beyond the stars. Milo hunched over his workbench, fingers dancing across an old radio. His brown hair fell messily over gray-blue eyes. At 24, he was an astronomy hobbyist, tinkering in a cluttered seaside apartment. Faded jeans hugged his lean frame, a worn t-shirt loose on his shoulders. Port Halcyon stretched outside, a city of 50,000 where solar panels glinted atop historic cobblestone streets. Waves crashed below, a steady pulse against the shore. The radio crackled, sharp and alive. Milo froze. Memories flickered. Nights as a boy, sending pulses skyward, dreaming of distant listeners. No reply ever came, until today. A shadow swept across his window. Voices rose from the street. Milo leaned out. A sleek shuttle descended, its obsidian hull catching sunlight like a polished blade. It settled on the harbor pad. Crowds swelled, phones flashing, murmurs buzzing. Verae stepped from the ramp. Her crystalline skin shimmered, fracturing light into rainbows. Violet-silver eyes glowed, scanning the crowd with unearthly calm. She moved with deliberate grace, a flowing robe of glowing fibers trailing her steps. A researcher from Vesper, sent under the Symbiosis Accord program to study Earth. Milo's buzzer jolted him. He wiped sweaty palms on his jeans. His pulse quickened. Hosting an alien. Him. He opened the door. Verae stood there, taller than he'd imagined. Her gaze pinned him, piercing. Milo swallowed hard. "Hey, I'm Milo. Welcome." His voice cracked, awkward. He stepped aside. She glided in, gestures precise as a machine. Her eyes swept the room, books piled on shelves, radio parts strewn across the table, sea air drifting through the open balcony. The apartment shrank under her presence. Milo gestured to the couch. "Sit, if you want. Get comfortable?" His words stumbled. Verae tilted her head, voice melodic, each syllable measured. "Comfort is irrelevant. I adapt." She sat, robes settling like liquid light. Milo shuffled to the kitchenette. Water hissed in the kettle. He scooped tea leaves, hands steadying with the familiar ritual. Steam curled up. He poured, mug warming his palms. Verae watched, her skin catching the light in soft prisms. "This brewing," she said, "loses 7% thermal efficiency. Direct infusion is optimal." Milo chuckled, a low rumble. He handed her a mug. "It's not about efficiency. It's the weight, the warmth." He sipped his own, bitterness grounding him. She took the mug, fingers cool against the ceramic. No steam rose for her. She inhaled, analyzing. Camellia sinensis. Emotional trigger? Something like that. Milo leaned against the counter, watching her. She was a statue carved from starlight, yet alive. The radio spat static again, louder. Milo crossed to it, twisting a dial. "Old habit. As a kid, I'd send signals. Just shouting into the void." Verae rose, approaching the radio. Her eyes narrowed, glowing faintly. "Amateur frequencies. You broadcasted?" "Yeah." Milo grinned sheepishly. "Hoped someone was listening." He didn't know how true that was. She turned to the balcony, pulling a fist-sized crystal from her robe. It hummed faintly as she set it on the railing. "Data recorder. Captures ambient patterns." The device pulsed once, then stilled. Milo's brow creased. The hum pricked his nerves like a storm on the horizon. "What's it recording exactly?" "Human interactions, environmental data." Her tone stayed flat, procedural. "Per the Accord," he nodded, shoving down unease. "Dinner then? I'm cooking." The kitchen was filled with sizzling garlic. Milo stirred pasta, his mother's recipe. Tomatoes simmered, rich and familiar. He twirled noodles, the rhythm soothing. Verae sat at the table, her skin reflecting the stove's glow. Carbon-based sustenance, carbohydrates, proteins. Energy yield is predictable. Milo slid a plate to her. Try it. It's more than fuel. Steam curled between them. She poked the pasta, fork hesitant, then tasted, chewed slowly. Umami dominant. Texture, irregular. A pause. Acceptable. He laughed loud and warm. High praise. He dug into his own, savoring the tang. Silence settled, broken by fork clinks and distant waves. Milo felt her gaze, steady, unyielding, like he was a code to crack. His mind churned. Was he just a subject, a curiosity pinned under glass? The thought stung, but he pushed it aside, scraping his plate. Verae logged every move. Tea poured, pasta twirled, words spoken, data points etched into her crystal mind. Yet something stirred, unmeasurable. The warmth in his laugh, the steam's fleeting dance. Not just data, something alive. Milo stacked plates, glancing at her. Tour tomorrow? Show you the city? Affirmative. Verae stood, robe whispering across the floor. Night fell, stars piercing the sky beyond the balcony. Milo pulled old photos from a drawer, faded prints. His mother's laugh was frozen in time. He, as a boy, clutched tight. He spread them out. These aren't just pictures. His finger brushed one, voice soft. They're anchors, memories we carry. Verae leaned closer, her skin glowing faintly. Analog records, fragile, yet enduring. Exactly. Milo's eyes met hers. Stories keep them alive. His voice held steady, but his chest tightened. Her gestures slowed, voice softer. Stories, not crystalline, vulnerable. Stronger for it. Their gazes locked. Violet silver sparked with something new. The crystal device hummed on the balcony, softer now. Shadows stretched, waves rolled below. Port Halcyon dreamed on. Milo grabbed a blanket. Bedroom's yours, I'll take the couch. Verae nodded. Rest cycle, optimal. She paused at the bedroom door. Your signals, they reach far. He froze, blanket half folded. What? Curiosity logged. She slipped inside. The door clicked shut. Milo sank onto the couch, mind racing. Her words echoed, reached far. The radio sat silent, but the air felt charged. Outside, the shuttle's lights faded. Crowds thinned on cobblestone streets. Solar panels caught the moonlight. The city breathed, unaware of distant eyes. Verae lay in the dark, eyes open. Her skin dimmed. Data flowed, rituals, pasta, photos. But warmth lingered, unquantifiable, human, alive. Milo stared at the ceiling, exposed yet curious. What did she see in him? In this messy life, sleep crept slowly, waves rolling. Dreams spun of signals and violet light. Dawn stirred. The night held its secrets. Echoes grew, reaching for something vast. Milo woke to sunlight spilling through the balcony door. The radio hummed faintly, a ghost of last night's static. Verae stood by the crystal device, her robe catching dawn's glow. Her violet silver eyes flicked to him. Morning cycle, you rise late. He rubbed his eyes, blanket slipping. Humans need sleep. Not all of us are crystal-powered. He stood, stretching, jeans creased from the couch. Verae tilted her head. Inefficient, Vesperian cycle energy in 3 hours. Her tone held no judgment, only fact. Milo grinned, grabbing coffee grounds. Stick around. You'll see why we linger. The machine gurgled. He handed her a mug. She held it, analyzing, not drinking. They stepped into Port Halcyon's bustle. Cobblestones clicked under Milo's boots. Solar panels gleamed above shops. Verae's robe drew stares, her crystalline skin flashing in the sun. She moved with precision, logging every sight. Milo led her to his apartment's common room. A wooden table held an old strategy game, its board etched with grids. Try this. It's fun, He set up pieces worn from years of play. Verae sat studying the board. Objective? Her fingers hovered, calculating. Outmaneuver me. Think ahead. Milo moved a piece, grinning. She responded, precise and ruthless. Pieces fell in her favor. Milo leaned back, frustrated but laughing. You're a machine at this. Her eyes flickered. Logic dictates optimal moves. Yet his laughter puzzled her. Losing, yet joyful. She logged it. Human anomaly. Fun. Verae's perspective shifted. The game wasn't just patterns. His smile, unguarded, sparked something. Not data. Something warm. They left for Silver Grove Park. Ancient oaks, 200 years old, loomed over picnickers. Grass stretched wide, dotted with families. Milo pointed to a scarred tree. This survived a fire a century ago. Humans rebuilt around it, kept going. Verae touched the bark, her skin glowing faintly. Resilience. Noted. Her voice softened, less mechanical. Milo's chest swelled with pride, but unease lingered. Teaching an alien felt strange, like exposing a raw nerve. Was she judging? He pushed the thought down, leading her onward. The city library came next. Stone arches framed shelves of archived books. Milo pulled one, its pages yellowed. Wars, peace, mistakes. We keep it all here. Memory shapes us. Verae scanned the text, fingers tracing faded ink. Data storage. Inefficient. Fragile. Stories aren't just data. Milo's voice sharpened. They're us. Alive. She paused, meeting his gaze. Alive. Her tone wavered, curious. Back at the apartment, Milo suggested cooking. He handed Verae a pan. Your turn, pasta. Mom's recipe. He guided her, chuckling as she measured ingredients with robotic precision. The pan sizzled, garlic burned. Verae froze, alarmed. Error! Thermal excess. Milo laughed, scraping the mess. It's fine. Mistakes are human. They started over, elbows brushing. She stirred, tentative, then smiled. The sauce simmered, right this time. They ate, laughing over the charred attempt. Verae chewed slowly. Not just fuel, connection. Her words surprised him. Warmth crept into her voice. Milo's mind churned. Her smile, new and unguarded, stirred pride. But the crystal device on the balcony hummed louder now, pulsing faster. He glanced at it. That thing's active today. Verae's gaze flicked away. Routine function, data collection. Her tone was too quick, evasive. He frowned but let it pass. Tomorrow's a big day. Caldera Ridge. You'll see something special. Dawn broke. They hiked Caldera Ridge, mountains rising sharply against the sky. Ancient human carvings, 5,000 years old, etched the cliffs. Figures of hunters, stars, stories in stone. Verae traced one, her skin glowing against the rock. Permanent, yet expressive. Milo nodded. Our first stories, they outlast us. His voice held reverence. She turned to him. Vesperians store data in crystals, precise, eternal, but no on expression. Stories are our crystals. Milo's eyes met hers. They hold who we are. Her gaze lingered, violet silver softening. Something shifted, not just observation, understanding. Back in the city, kids swarmed them, curious about Verae. A girl tugged her robe. You're shiny! Verae froze, then mimicked a high five, stiff but earnest. The kids giggled, running off. Milo grinned. You're a hit. His pride grew, but the device's hum gnawed at him. Louder now, insistent. Verae's perspective deepened. The children's laughter, uncalculated, echoed Milo's game. Not data, joy. Her crystal mind struggled to classify it. They returned to the apartment. The device pulsed, its light sharper. Milo pointed. What's it doing now? Adjusting parameters. Verae's voice was clipped. She turned away, robe shimmering. Milo's gut tightened. Secrets. He let it go. but tension coiled. Festivals soon. You'll love it. Night fell. The city buzzed with anticipation. Lanterns lined the streets, ready for the solstice lights. Milo cleaned his radio, fingers steady but mind racing. Verae's words, signals reached far, echoed. What did she know? Verae stood on the balcony, watching the city. Her skin glowed faintly, reflecting streetlights. Milo's stories, the carvings, the children, they stirred something. Not logic. Life. She logged it, but the crystal device's hum felt wrong. Invasive. Milo joined her, leaning on the railing. Tomorrow you'll see us at our best. Humans together. Remembering. She nodded, silent. Her eyes traced the horizon. The device pulsed, a warning she couldn't voice. Port Halcyon hummed below, alive with preparation. Cobblestones gleamed under lanterns. Solar panels caught starlight. The city waited, unaware of the growing hum, of signals crossing stars, of a boy and an alien, bound by something fragile, building towards something vast. Port Halcyon glowed under 10,000 lanterns. Their light danced on cobblestones, casting warmth across the seaside city. Milo led Verae through the crowd, his old jacket brushing against her glowing robe. The Solstice Lights Festival, a tradition since 2040, pulsed with life. Songs rose, laughter echoed, and the air smelled of roasted nuts and sea salt. Milo pointed to a lantern, its flame flickering. We light these for ancestors. Keeps their stories alive. His gray-blue eyes caught the glow, softening. Verae's crystalline skin shimmered, reflecting the lanterns. Memory as ritual, collective. Her melodic voice held a new note, curious. She scanned the crowd, logging the chaos, singing, dancing, children darting through legs. It overwhelmed her, yet pulled her in. They wove through stalls. A vendor handed Milo a skewer of grilled vegetables. He offered Verae a bite. Try it. Festival food hits different. She nibbled, analyzing. Caramelized sugars, capsaicin trace, then softer, pleasant. Her violet-silver eyes met his, a spark of warmth. Milo grinned, leading her to a clearing. A storyteller stood on a crate, voice booming. He recounted a flood from decades past, his mother's courage in saving neighbors. Milo's voice cracked as he whispered to Verae, "That's my mom's story. She never gave up." Verae's hand brushed his arm, her first uncalculated touch. Courage, not just survival. Her gaze softened, crystalline skin glowing brighter. The crowd's energy pulsed through her, no longer just data. A hush fell. Verae turned to him, voice low. "Milo, your signal. At 12, it reached Vesper." Her eyes held steady, violet-silver piercing. Milo froze, skewer half raised. "My signal?" His mind reeled, pride surged, then betrayal. "You knew? This whole time?" "I chose you for it." Her voice was firm, unapologetic. "Your curiosity called us." His jaw tightened. Pride warred with unease. His boyhood dream shaped his life, without his knowledge. "You could have said something." Verae tilted her head. "Protocol required observation first." A pause. "Now I share." Milo exhaled, eyes on the lanterns. "Guess I did reach the stars." A wry smile broke through. He handed her a lantern. "Light one with me?" Her crystalline fingers trembled, gripping the paper frame. They lit the wick, flame dancing. It rose, joining thousands in the sky. Verae's gaze followed, her skin glowing in sync. Collective memory, it resonates. Milo's chest tightened. Her words stirred him, but her secrecy lingered. He glanced at the balcony, visible across the city. The crystal device pulsed, its light sharper, ominous. "That thing's acting up." Verae's eyes flicked skyward, avoiding his. "Adjusting." Her voice was too quick. He frowned, mind churning. Pride in his signal faded under growing tension. The festival roared on, but a low hum cut through the songs, distant, insistent, from the balcony. Verae's perspective shifted. The lanterns, the stories, Milo's cracked voice, they weren't data. They were life, raw and vibrant. Her crystal mind struggled to classify the warmth flooding her. The crowd's joy pulled her, but the device's hum clawed back, a protocol she couldn't name. Milo watched her, uneasy. Her eyes kept darting skyward. "What's it doing, Verae?" His voice sharpened, cutting through the festival's din. "Data collection." Her reply was clipped, mechanical. She turned, robe shimmering, joining the crowd's flow. He followed, jaw set. The lanterns glowed, but his thoughts darkened. Her secrecy, the device's hum, it wasn't right. The crowd sang, oblivious. A child bumped into Verae, laughing. She mimicked a smile, but her eyes stayed distant. They reached a stage where dancers spun, their movements wild under lantern light. Milo leaned close. "This festival, it's us, humans, we remember together." His voice held an edge, testing her. Verae nodded slowly. "I see it. Memory binds you." Her hand grazed his, fleeting. "It is. Beautiful." His heart skipped, but suspicion lingered. The hum grew louder, a vibration in his bones. He glanced back. The balcony's light pulsed brighter, cutting through the festival's glow. "Verae, level with me. What's that thing really doing?" She stiffened, eyes locked on the sky. "It functions as designed." Her voice wavered, betraying her. Milo's gut twisted. The festival's warmth faded. He grabbed her arm, gentle but firm. "We're going back, now." She didn't resist. They pushed through the crowd, lanterns swaying above. Songs faded behind them. The hum grew, a low growl. Port Halcyon sparkled, unaware of the threat rising from a single balcony. Verae's mind raced. The festival's chaos, laughter, stories, and Milo's touch stirred something unquantifiable. But the device's protocol loomed, cold and absolute. She followed him, her skin dimming, torn between duty and the warmth she'd felt. Milo's thoughts churned. The signal, her choice, the device, it all connected. His boyhood dream had called her here, but at what cost? The cobblestones blurred under his boots. The apartment loomed ahead, its balcony glowing like a warning. The city sang on, lanterns drifting skyward. Solar panels caught their light, a dance of old and new. But the hum pulsed stronger, a shadow over the festival. Milo's stride quickened. Verae matched him, silent. Two worlds collided, bound by a signal, racing toward an unseen edge. Milo pushed through the apartment door, his boots thudding on the hardwood. The festival's distant songs faded, drowned by the crystal device's hum. It pulsed on the balcony, its light sharp, cutting through the lantern glow from Port Halcyon below. Verae followed, her robe trailing, her crystalline skin dim under the apartment's dim bulbs. Milo stopped short. The device's core glowed brighter, violet silver like Verae's eyes, but colder. "That's not just recording, is it?" His voice was low, edged with suspicion. Verae's gestures faltered. "It is a memory beacon." Her melodic tone cracked. "Automated protocol to protect Vesper's data." "Protect how?" Milo's gray-blue eyes narrowed. He stepped closer, the hum vibrating in his chest. She hesitated, then spoke. "It erases local memories. 5 square kilometers. Port Halcyon's 50,000 mines." Her voice dropped, almost a whisper. "To secure our research." Milo's breath caught. His mind flashed to his mother's recipe, the flood story, and his boyhood signals. Erased. "You're wiping us out?" His hands clenched, knuckles white. "Not by choice." Verae's eyes flickered, conflicted. "It activated without my command." He spun, grabbing his radio toolkit from the workbench. Screwdrivers, wires, a battered oscilloscope. "We're stopping it." His voice was steel. No room for debate. Verae's perspective churned. The beacon's protocol was absolute, meant to shield Vesper's secrets. But the festival's warmth, Milo's stories, and the lanterns clashed with her duty. Guilt surged. Erasing memories betrayed the humanity she'd begun to cherish. Milo stormed to the balcony, toolkit clanging. The beacon's hum deepened. A low growl. Below, festival-goers swayed, some clutching their heads. A woman stumbled, forgetting her child's name. Panic rippled through the crowd, a wave breaking on cobblestones. "It's already starting." Milo's voice shook. He knelt by the beacon, its crystal core pulsing at 2.4 GHz, a frequency he knew from his radio days. This thing's like Earth's old propaganda tech. From the 2030s, memory manipulation. Verae knelt beside him, her robe pooling. Similar principles. Harmonic resonance disrupts neural patterns. Her fingers twitched, itching to act. "I did not intend this." "Then help me." Milo's eyes locked on hers. "You know this tech. I know signals. We fix this." "Ich come," she nodded slowly. "Agreed." Her skin glowed faintly, a sign of resolve. Milo's mind raced, fear clawing at him. Losing his mother's face, the taste of her pasta, the crackle of his radio, it was losing himself. He shoved the fear down, hands steady as he opened the toolkit. The beacon's light intensified, its signal warping Port Halcyon's communication grid. Radios hissed static in nearby homes. A vendor's voice cracked, forgetting his prices. The festival's joy frayed, replaced by confusion. Vera's guilt deepened. She saw Milo's determination, his hands moving with purpose. Her crystal mind logged his actions, but her heart, newly awakened, ached. She'd brought this threat. She had to undo it. Milo probed the beacon with a screwdriver, its casing cool and unyielding. "This frequency is messing with neural pathways, like a targeted EMP for memories." His oscilloscope flickered, confirming the 2.4 GHz pulse. Verae's fingers traced the device's edge. "It uses crystal harmonics, 10-watt output, precise but fragile." She met his gaze. "We can counter it." "How?" Milo's voice was urgent, the hum growing louder. "The living sculpture." Verae pointed to the balcony's Vesperian crystal lattice, a gift from her shuttle. "Repurpose it, reverse the signal." Milo nodded, grabbing wires and a soldering iron. Like an antenna, jam their frequency with ours. He moved fast, no pause, the weight of 50,000 minds pressing on him. They hauled the sculpture closer, its crystals glinting under lantern light. Milo stripped wires, connecting them to the lattice's base. Verae adjusted its alignment, her fingers precise, tuning its resonance. The beacon's hum spiked, a shrill edge cutting through. Below, a man dropped his lantern, staring blankly. "Who am I?" His voice carried, chilling. Milo's hands shook, but he kept moving. "We're running out of time." He soldered a connection, sparks flaring. The sculpture hummed, faint but promising. Verae's skin glowed brighter, channeling energy into the lattice. "Frequency aligned, needs calibration." Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed fear. Failing Milo, her first friend, was unthinkable. Milo's radio crackled, picking up the beacon signal. Static drowned the festival songs. He twisted a dial, narrowing the countersignal. "Almost there." The sculpture's hum grew, clashing with the beacon's. A high-pitched whine rose. Milo's oscilloscope showed the lattice's output at 8 watts, climbing. Not enough yet. Verae's perspective hardened. Vesper's protocol was wrong. Memory wasn't data to erase, it was life. She poured more energy into the sculpture, her skin flickering. Milo glanced at her, seeing the strain. You okay? Focus. Her voice was sharp, but her eyes softened. We saved them. The beacon's core pulsed brighter, its signal now affecting 60% of Port Halcyon. A child cried, forgetting her mother's face. Milo's chest tightened. He wouldn't let this happen. They worked in sync, Milo wiring, Verae tuning. The sculpture's crystals glowed, violet silver like her eyes. The counter signal hit 10 watts, matching the beacon. A stalemate. Milo's mind burned with purpose. 50,000 stories hung in the balance. His mother's courage, his signals to the stars. He wouldn't lose them. The balcony trembled, the hums colliding. Below, the festival teetered on the edge of oblivion. Cobblestones gleamed under lanterns, but shadows grew. Milo and Verae exchanged a look. Time was slipping. Milo's hands moved fast, soldering wires to the living sculpture's crystal lattice. Sparks snapped under the balcony's dim light. The beacon's hum roared, a relentless pulse shaking Port Halcyon's air. Its violet-silver glow clashed with the festival's lanterns below, where confusion spread like wildfire. Verae knelt beside him, her crystalline fingers adjusting the sculpture's alignment with surgical precision. This signal's at 2.4 GHz. Milo's voice was tight, eyes on his oscilloscope. Its screen flickered, mapping the beacon's frequency. Matches my old radio gear, we can jam it. Verae's skin shimmered, reflecting the sculpture's glow. The beacon uses harmonic resonance, disrupts neural patterns at 10 watts. Her melodic voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed urgency. The sculpture can counter it. Milo nodded, grabbing his toolkit, screwdrivers, pliers, and spare radio parts. We turn this into a reverse antenna, flip their signal back. His hands shook, but he forced them steady. 50,000 minds depended on it. They worked in tandem. Milo looped wires around the sculpture's base, connecting to a makeshift transmitter. Verae tuned the crystals, her fingers tracing energy patterns. The lattice hummed, its pitch rising, clashing with the beacon's low growl. Below, the festival faltered. A man dropped his lantern, staring blankly at his hands. My wife, where is she? His voice cracked. Lost. The beacon's signal, now at 70% strength, chewed through Port Halcyon's memories. Radios hissed static across the city's grid. Milo's perspective burned with focus. The weight of every story, his mother's recipes, the flood, his signals, pushed him past fear. He soldered a final connection, the iron's heat biting his fingers. We're close. Verae's inner thoughts churned. Failing Milo, her first true connection, was unthinkable. Vesper's protocol felt cold, wrong. She poured energy into the sculpture, her skin glowing brighter, almost painful. Frequency at 2.4 GHz, output at 8 watts. Needs more. Milo glanced at his radio, its speaker spitting static. It's disrupting everything. Phones, radios, even traffic signals. He twisted a dial, narrowing the counter signal. The sculpture's hum sharpened, cutting through the beacon's drone. They moved faster. Milo rigged a capacitor to boost the lattice's power. Verae recalculated resonance, her fingers trembling. 10 watts achieved, matching the beacon. Her voice held a new edge. Defiance. The beacon's core pulsed brighter, its signal warping neural patterns across 5 square kilometers. A child in the crowd below wailed, forgetting her own name. Milo's chest tightened. We need 12 watts. Overpower it. Verae nodded, channeling more energy. Her skin flickered, violet silver straining. I can amplify the lattice, but it risks overload. She met his eyes, resolute. I trust you. Milo's hands flew, connecting a final wire. The sculpture's crystals glowed, vibrating with a high-pitched whine. His oscilloscope showed 11 watts. Close. The beacon's hum fought back, a deep thrum shaking the balcony railing. Below, festival goers staggered. A woman clutched her head, muttering, "My son! Who's my son?" The crowd's joy dissolved into chaos. Lanterns swayed, some falling, flames guttering on cobblestones. Milo's radio crackled, picking up the sculpture's counter signal. It wavered, not strong enough. He slammed a fist on the railing. "Come on!" His voice broke, raw with desperation. Verae's perspective hardened. She saw Milo's grit, his refusal to quit. It wasn't just data he fought for, it was humanity's soul. She pushed more energy into the lattice, her skin burning bright, risking her crystalline structure. 12 watts, now! The sculpture's hum surged, drowning the beacon's growl. Milo's oscilloscope spiked, confirming the countersignal strength. The lattice glowed violet-silver, mirroring Verae's eyes. The beacon's light dimmed, faltering. A pause. The air stilled. Milo held his breath, watching the oscilloscope. The countersignal held steady, pushing back the beacon's reach. A man below blinked, his face clearing. "My wife! She's there!" Relief spread, tentative. Milo's heart pounded. They were winning. But the beacon's core pulsed erratically, fighting back. "It's not done yet." He grabbed a screwdriver, ready to tear into it. Verae's hand stopped him. "Wait, the lattice needs calibration. 1 degree off, we lose the signal." Her voice was firm, but her skin flickered, energy draining. He nodded, trusting her. Adjusted the lattice's angle, following her calculations. The hum stabilized, pushing 13 watts. The beacon's pulse weakened, its core flickering. The festival below stirred. Voices rose, clearer. A child laughed, remembering her mother's song. Milo's radio cleared, static fading. The counter signal was working. Verae's inner thoughts raced. She'd betrayed Vesper's protocol for Milo, for Port Halcyon. Her choice felt right, but fear lingered. Had she done enough? Her skin dimmed, energy spent. Milo glanced at her, seeing the strain. "You're pushing too hard." His voice softened, but his hands kept working. "Focus." Verae's reply was sharp, but her eyes held warmth. "We finish this." The beacon's hum faltered, its light now a dull glow. The sculpture's counter-signal dominated, a steady pulse. Milo's oscilloscope showed the city's frequencies stabilizing. The grid was holding, but the beacon's core sparked, a last gasp. Milo's gut twisted. "It's not over." He grabbed his toolkit, ready for the next fight. Verae nodded, her skin glowing faintly. Resolve unbroken. The balcony trembled, and the two signals locked in battle. Below, Port Halcyon teetered, its stories hanging by a thread. Lanterns flickered, cobblestones gleaming under their light. Milo and Verae stood side by side, their fight far from done. The balcony shook, the sculpture's high-pitched hum clashing with the beacon's dying growl. Milo's hands gripped the lattice, fine-tuning its crystals under lantern light. The oscilloscope spiked at 12 watts, the countersignal biting into the beacon's 2.4 GHz pulse. Verae channeled energy through her crystalline skin, her violet-silver glow mirroring the sculptures. Below, Port Halcyon reeled, 80% of its 50,000 minds caught in the beacon's grip, memories fraying like torn threads. Milo's radio crackled, catching the sculpture's signal. Clearer now, stronger. He twisted a dial, pushing the output to 13 watts. "We're breaking through." His voice was taut, gray-blue eyes locked on the beacon's flickering core. Verae's fingers trembled, aligning the lattice's resonance. Frequency stable, signal holding. Her skin burned bright, energy draining fast. She pushed harder, defying Vesper's protocol. This wasn't data protection, it was erasure, and she rejected it. The beacon's hum deepened, a desperate surge. Its core pulsed erratically, violet-silver light stabbing the night. A woman below clutched her head, voice breaking. "My daughter's face." It's gone. The festival's lanterns swayed, some guttering out on cobblestones. Milo's perspective sharpened. Every story, his mother's courage, his signals, the city's history, hung in the balance. He adjusted the lattice, crystals vibrating with a piercing whine. We need more power. His hands moved fast, soldering a booster wire. Verae's inner thoughts churned. Milo's grit, his refusal to lose, anchored her. She'd chosen him for his signal, but now she fought for his world. Her skin flickered, nearing collapse. 14 watts, maximum output. Her voice strained, but her eyes blazed with resolve. A shock hit. The beacon signal mirrored Earth's 2030s propaganda tech, Milo realized. Vesper hadn't just observed, they'd studied human memory manipulation. They're using our own tricks against us. His voice was grim, hands steady despite the betrayal. Verae's gaze snapped to him. I did not know. Her tone was raw, apologetic. She poured more energy into the lattice, her skin dimming dangerously. We end this. The sculpture glowed brighter, its violet-silver light matching Verae's eyes. The counter signal surged, drowning the beacon's hum. Milo's radio cleared, festival songs faintly audible again. Below, a man blinked, muttering, My son. I remember. Clarity spread, fragile but growing. Milo's chest swelled with pride. Humanity wasn't just surviving, it was fighting back. His oscilloscope showed the counter signal dominating, 14 watts strong. The beacon's core dimmed, its pulse faltering. It's working! A pause. The air stilled. Lanterns flickered below, their light steadying. A child's laugh broke the silence, reminding her of her mother's lullaby. The crowd stirred, faces clearing. But the beacon's core sparked, overheating. A red glow pulsed within, threatening a final 20-watt burst. Milo's gut twisted. It's not done. He grabbed a screwdriver, ready to tear into it. Verae's hand stopped him. The lattice holds. One more push. Her skin flickered, energy nearly spent. She channeled everything into the sculpture, her glow fading. For your stories. Milo nodded, trust binding them. He adjusted the lattice's angle, crystals singing at 15 watts. The beacon's hum collapsed, its light a dull flicker. The counter signal roared, a high-pitched victory cry. Below, the festival is revived. Voices rose, names remembered. A woman hugged her daughter, tears falling. I know you. Lanterns burned bright, casting warmth on cobblestones. Verae's perspective solidified. She'd betrayed Vesper for humanity, for Milo. His world, messy, warm, alive, was worth it. Her skin dimmed, but her heart surged. She'd chosen right. Milo's radio sang with clear frequencies. The city's grid stabilized, traffic signals blinking green. He exhaled, pride flooding him. We did it. His voice was soft, but his eyes burned. Humanity's stories held. The sculpture's glow softened, its work done. The beacon's core dulled, silent. But a faint heat lingered, a warning of one last threat. Milo's hand tightened on the screwdriver. It's not over yet. Verae swayed, energy spent. Her eyes met his, violet silver, faint but fierce. Together. Her voice was a whisper, unwavering. The balcony trembled, the final battle looming. Port Halcyon breathed below, its memories clawing back. Lanterns danced, solar panels catching their light. Milo and Verae stood ready, their bond forged in defiance, facing the beacon's last gasp. The beacon's core glowed red, heat radiating at 300 C. Its hum spiked, a desperate 20-watt pulse threatening to wipe Port Halcyon's memories clean. Milo gripped his screwdriver, sweat beading on his brow. The balcony trembled, the sculpture's violet-silver glow holding steady at 15 watts, countering the beacon's signal. Verae swayed beside him, her crystalline skin flickering, nearly drained. Below, festival goers clutched loved ones, memories teetering on the edge. Milo climbed the balcony railing, toolkit clanging. "We end this now." His voice was iron, gray-blue eyes locked on the beacon's pulsing core. He jammed the screwdriver into its casing, metal scraping crystal. Verae channeled her last energy reserves, her arms glowing faintly. "I'll cool the core." Her melodic voice strained, cracking. She pressed her hands to the beacon, her skin dimming as she absorbed its heat. Her crystalline structure wavered, risking collapse. The beacon fought back, its hum a guttural roar. Milo's wrench cracked the casing open, exposing a pulsing crystal matrix. Sparks flew, singeing his fingers. "It's fragile. One good hit." He swung the wrench again, metal ringing. Very's perspective burned with resolve. She'd chosen Milo, chosen humanity. Her skin flickered, pain searing through her. Saving Port Halcyon stories, its soul, was worth everything. She pushed harder, cooling the core, her glow nearly gone. The sculpture's counter signal screamed, 15 watts strong, drowning the beacon's pulse. Milo's radio crackled, clear now, festival songs rising faintly. Below, a child hummed her mother's lullaby, voice steady. Memories held, growing stronger. Milo's wrench struck again, cracking the matrix. The beacon's hum faltered, its red glow dimming. "It's breaking!" His voice surged with hope, hands moving faster. He pried at the core, wires sparking. Very's hands trembled, her skin dull, almost opaque. "Core temperature dropping, keep going." Her voice was a whisper, but her violet-silver eyes blazed. She poured everything into the beacon, her structure fracturing. A final crack. The matrix shattered, shards glinting under lantern light. The beacon's hum died, its core dark. Silence fell, heavy and absolute. The sculpture's whine softened, its work done. Milo exhaled, chest heaving. His perspective shifted, and pride flooded him. Not just tech, but stories defined them. His mother's courage, the festival's lanterns, his signals to the stars, humanity's strength. Below, the crowd cheered, voices rising. A woman hugged her son, laughing. "I remember you." Lanterns burned bright, their light steady on cobblestones. Port Halcyon breathed again. Whole. Verae collapsed, her robe pooling. Milo dropped the wrench, catching her. Her skin was cool, dim, but her eyes held a faint glow. "We did it," she whispered, voice raw. "You did it." Milo's voice softened, his arms steady around her. Their bond, forged in battle, held firm. Verae's inner thoughts flickered. She'd risked everything, her structure, her duty, for Milo's world. His warmth, his stories had changed her. She was no longer just an observer. She was part of this. The beacon lay dead, its shards scattered. The sculpture hummed softly, a quiet victor. Milo's radio sang with clear signals, the city's grid restored. Traffic lights blinked green below, normalcy returning. Milo helped Verae to her feet, his hand lingering on hers. "You okay?" His gray-blue eyes searched hers, concern sharp. "Functional." Her smile was faint, human. "Your stories, they're safe." He nodded, pride swelling. "Because of you." He glanced at the sculpture, its crystals dim but intact, a symbol of their fight. The festival roared back to life below. Songs swelled, lanterns danced. A child ran, shouting her mother's name. The crowd's joy washed over the city, unbroken. Milo's mind raced. He'd been a boy with a radio, dreaming of the stars. Now he'd saved his city's soul with an alien by his side. Humanity wasn't just resilient, it was unstoppable. Verae stood straighter, her glow returning faintly. Her perspective solidified. Milo wasn't data, wasn't a subject. He was her companion, His world now hers. She'd chosen right. The balcony stilled. The battle won. Cobblestones gleam below, solar panels catching lantern light. Port Halcyon lived, its memories intact. Milo and Verae stood together, their fight carving a new path, one neither could have foreseen. Dawn broke over Port Halcyon, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink. 10,000 lanterns still glowed from the festival, their light soft on cobblestone streets. Milo and Verae sat on the balcony, the living sculpture beside them, its crystals dim but whole. The beacon shards lay scattered, a silent testament to their victory. Waves crashed below, a steady rhythm blending with the city's waking hum. Milo leaned back, his old jacket creased, gray-blue eyes tracing the horizon. "We saved them." His voice was quiet, pride woven into every word. His mother's stories, the festival's songs, his childhood signals, all intact. Verae's crystalline skin flickered faintly, her energy slowly returning. Her violet-silver eyes met his. "I understand now. Memory isn't data. It's joy, life." Her melodic voice softened, human in its warmth. "I choose to stay, here, with you." Milo's breath caught. A smile broke across his face, unguarded. "Good. I'd miss you out there." His hand brushed hers, lingering. The touch felt right, a quiet promise. Below, Port Halcyon stirred. Neighbors shared stories over coffee, their voices clear, memories whole. A child ran through Silver Grove Park, laughing, her mother's lullaby on her lips. Solar panels caught the sunrise, gleaming alongside ancient cobblestones. Verae's perspective had shifted forever. Milo wasn't just her subject, he was her companion. His world, messy and vibrant, had claimed her. She leaned closer, robe shimmering. "Your stories, they're stronger than crystal." Milo chuckled, low and warm. "Told you, stories are our strength." His mind turned inward. The boy who sent signals to the stars was gone. In his place stood a man, the human storyteller, chosen to share Earth's culture with Vesper. Pride surged, steady and sure. The Symbiosis Accord program evolved, its focus shifting to mutual consent, not observation. Word spread of Milo's role, and his name was whispered with respect. The sculpture, now a monument, was moved to Silver Grove Park, its crystals catching sunlight, a symbol of human-alien unity. Verae's hand rested on the railing, close to his. "I logged your actions, your courage, but I felt it too." Her eyes glowed softly. "Connection." Milo nodded, his voice steady. "That's what makes us human. Not tech, not power, stories, the ones we share, the ones we fight for." He paused, meeting her gaze. "You're a part of that now." She smiled, a new expression, unguarded. "I am, and I choose to be." The city hummed below, alive with laughter and chatter. Lanterns were packed away, but their light lingered in the air. Port Halcyon stood unbroken, its memories a living archive. Milo's inner thoughts settled. He'd faced erasure and won, not with weapons, but with stories. From a boy dreaming of stars to a man defending his world, he'd grown. Humanity's resilience, its heart, had carried them through. He was ready to tell that story, to Vesper and beyond. Verae's perspective glowed with clarity. She'd come as an observer, bound by protocol. Now she was bound to Milo, to Earth, by choice. Her crystal mind held data, but her heart held stories. His, hers, theirs. They watched the sunrise, hands touching, the sculpture silent beside them. The future stretched wide, unwritten but bright. Port Halcyon breathed, its stories alive, its people connected. Milo and Verae sat together, ready to write the next chapter, their bond a bridge between worlds.